Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Dove TV to 5th. Today we are going to see another topic which is about compressors. Last time we have covered different topics about refrigeration. Now today we are going to see about compressors. As you see, all these are different kind of compressors, and then we are going to see all this in details. We are going to see compressors for heating, ventilation, air conditioning and refrigeration technology. Compressors for HVAC system. We are going to see it in details. Please hit subscribe for more videos to our channel so that we can grow up and reach to more people who are thirsty of having knowledge about refrigeration and air conditioning. Let's go. Starting from compressor. By its definition, compressor is that part in the mechanical refrigeration system which sucks the refrigerant vapor at low temperature and at low pressure and compress it to a lower volume at high temperature and at high pressure. Moreover, it creates the flow of refrigerant from one place to another. As you know, compressor is one of the main components of a refrigerator, is one of the main components of a air conditioner. So, without compressor, there is no refrigeration circulation. That is why compressor is the main components. As you know, the human body requires hearts in order to stay alive. So also in the refrigeration system, without compressor, there is no performance of any kind of HVAC system. So let's go by looking from its types and also the construction of some of the types. Starting from types of compressor for HVAC system. Point 1, we have open type compressor. Second, we have semi-hermetically sealed compressor, and the third we have hermetically sealed compressor. In the HVAC system, we have three main compressors used, but in these three, we have also the main one which are generally used for most air conditioning in a large scale. We have open type compressor and hermetically compressor. Let's continue by looking in details each of these. Open type compressor, as you see, its construction and also the meaning is available here. Open type compressor is that in which the prime mover of the compressor must be driven by the belt. In this is that in which the prime mover drive the compressor by means of belt. Here we need belt in order to drive the motion. In such unit, the prime mover and compressor are separately serviceable. Understand this: the prime mover and the compressor are separately serviceable. They are not in the same housing, they are separated. In this, the compressor is enclosed in a crankcase and the crankshaft projects out through the compressor. Compressor is enclosed in a crankcase, understand this, and the crankshaft projects out through the housing. As you see, this is the construction of open type compressor. As you see here, there is separation of the components. Components are not constructed in the same housing, they are separated. That is what is called open type compressor. As you see, this is a motor, and also here we have, this is a belt, no, this is a pulley which has to be connected to the motor so as to drive the compressor. As you also, this is the construction here which shows the separation of the components. This is the compressor as you see here, and this is a motor. This motor have to drive this compressor in order to allow the compressor to suck and to create the flow of the refrigerant. This is a motor we find here as you see. By continue to another type, let's continue with semi-hermetically sealed compressor. Here for semi-hermetically compressor, we understand the term hermetically and semi. It means that it is not totally hermetically, but it is semi-hermetically. For semi-hermetically compressor, it has some characteristics of hermetically, but not completely hermetically. As you see, some of the features may be exposed outside of the housing of the compressor. For example, here we may have motor outside, and also we can have compressor here. Also, you can see here there is components, which this is the case, which is the compressor, but also the outside we have another components which are attached to this compressor but are not enclosed in the same case. That is what is called the semi-hermetically. Next, let's see hermetically. It will be very easy to understand semi-hermetically after looking hermetically sealed compressor. Yes, without wasting time, this is a hermetically sealed compressor. Hermetically sealed compressor. This is the image of the hermetically sealed compressor. For hermetically sealed compressor, all the components, all the parts, motor, compressor, any kinds, are constructed in these cases. Any motor and the windings of the motor, everything is enclosed in this case, which is welded, and there is no leakage of this case. The compressor and the motor are enclosed in one housing, which is known as hermetically sealed compressor. Yes, this point will help us to understand also for semi-hermetically compressor. For semi-hermetically compressor, motor and compressor may be separately, may be not in the same case, but for hermetically sealed compressor, compressor and motor are enclosed in one housing. This one, compressor and motor are enclosed in one housing. That is why it is known as hermetically sealed compressor. This type of compressor are normally used for small capacity refrigerating system as household refrigerator. Yes, this compressor generally they are small. They are used for small capacity refrigerating system, and as an example as household refrigerator or small capacity cooler. The main parts of sealed units are 1, which is electrical motor inside this case, 2, compressor inside this case, 3, you have muffler, and 4, you have dome. Here we see there is the internal construction of this hermetically sealed compressor. These are the features of these compressors. A compressor which is hermetically easy, like this one, as you see, this is SemiHermetically compressors. In ordinary compressor, the crankshaft extends through the compressor's housing and it is connected to the driving motor. For this compressor, a seal must be provided at the place where the shaft comes out through the compressor housing. This seal is necessary to prevent the leakage of the refrigerant outside or leakage of air inside. Yes, this is about the SemiHermetically compressors. Let's now see its main advantages, and also not only have advantages but also there is disadvantages of hermetically sealed compressor over other type of compressors. Here we go. Let's go by looking the advantages of hermetically sealed compressors over ordinary type compressors. First point, have the leakage of refrigerant is completely avoided. For this hermetically sealed compressor, there is no leakage, as we have seen that we use any kind of seal to prevent the leakage. The point 2, they said that it is less noisy. This compressor has not too much noisy. It has less noise, very less noisy. And point 3, it requires less space. As you see, it is small and all parts are concentrated in the same housing. Does not take too much space. That is why it takes less space, does not take a large space. Point 4, the motor is cooled more efficiently during the working of the motor, and also the lubrication of the motor is done inside these cases, so there is no there is more efficiency of the motor during the function of this compressor. These are the advantages of hermetically sealed compressor over ordinary compressor. Point 1, the leakage of refrigerant is completely avoided. Point 2, it is less noisy. Point 3, it requires less space. Point 4, the motor is cooled more efficiently. Let's now move from advantages of this hermetically to its disadvantages. Point 1, maintenance is not easier. As we know that this compressor, it is very well sealed and is welded anywhere, so during maintenance it will require you to take a cutting machine or a angle grinder in order to cut this case, which is very hard to cut. So that is why that is why the maintenance of this compressor, it is not easier, because it will take too much force to reach inside this compressor. Point 2, the welded joints has to be broken or cut for repairing the compressor, as I said above. In order to reach inside of this compressor, you have to break the joints of this compressor. That is why the welded joints have to be broken or cut for repairing the compressor. Point 3, the pressure of moisture in the refrigerant may harm the winding of the compressor during work. As you know, the compressor compresses refrigerant at high pressure and at high temperature. During such compression, the pressure of the moisture in the refrigerant may harm or damage the winding of the compressor. Point 4, a separate vacuum pump is required for evacuation and charging the refrigerant. As we have seen in the previous videos, before performing charging, you have to start from the point 1, which is evacuation. And also when working with refrigerator with this hermetically sealed compressor, before starting charging of this, you have to start from evacuation. The next point is that we are going to see the difference between open type compressor and sealed compressor. Then we are going to compare the two, which is open type as well, since open type, and also we are going to see sealed compressor. Starting from point 1, prime mover drives the compressor through V-belts, as you have seen in the slide above. For SemiHermetically sealed compressor, for sealed unit compressor, electric motor and the compressor are directly connected on the same shaft and enclosed in a welded dome. For open type compressor, prime mover may be a diesel engine, AC motor or DC motor. But for sealed unit compressor, generally AC 50 cycle, single phase, split phase induction motor are used here for sealed unit compressor. Point 3. In the case of AC single phase, split phase induction motor, for disconnecting the starting winding, a centrifugal switch is used. While for sealed unit compressor, in this case, a relay is used for this purpose. Point 4. For open type compressor, compressor and motor are generally mounted in a vertical and horizontal position respectively on the base. While for sealed unit compressor, motor and compressor are assembly can be mounted in any position, but generally the motor remain on the top. For open type compressor, revolution per minute of the motor differ with the compressor, while for sealed unit compressor, revolution per minute is the same for motor and compressor because they are at the same shaft. Point 6. Speed of the compressor can be adjusted. For open type, speed of the compressor can be adjusted, while sealed unit compressor, speed of the compressor cannot be adjusted. Let's continue by looking at the difference between the two. Point 7. Shaft seal is used for preventing the leakage. Understand this point. For open type compressor, shaft seal is used for preventing the leakage around the shaft of the compressor. As you know, the purpose of seal is to prevent the leakage. For sealed unit compressor, no shaft seal is used. There is no requiring of seal. Point 8. Any type of refrigerant control device can be used, while for sealed unit compressor, capillary tube is used as refrigerant control device. Point 9. For open type, Receiver is used in this case for open type. Receiver is used in this case, while for sealed unit compressor, no service valve is used. Point 10. Possibility of gas exists, while for hermetically unit compressor, no possibility of gas leakage. There is no leakage. There is no any kind of leakage because it is the enclosed case and all the components are inside. Point 11. Dust and moisture can come in contact with it because the parts are separated, while for hermetically unit compressor, it is dust and moisture proof units. Yes, that's a great advantage. 12. Occupies much space. Open type take large space, occupies much space, while this hermetically sealed unit compressor, it occupies less space and very less space. Point 13. Open type compressor is used for domestic and commercial purpose. This open is used for commercial and domestic purpose, while this hermetically unit compressor is used for domestic only. This is also another advantages of this open type over hermetically sealed compressor. Here, for open type, it is used for domestic and commercial purpose, while this sealed unit compressor, it is used only for domestic purpose. Point 14. Can be easily repaired. This open type can be easily repaired compared to this hermetically sealed compressor, because this hermetically sealed compressor cannot be easily repaired, as we have seen that it requires cutting of the enclosed enclosed material in order to reach inside of the compressor. So we have explained too much, and I can say that at the end of this you are able to explain what is compressor, explain the type of compressor, and to show any kind of compressor by using the schematics. And also we have covered advantages and advantages of sealed hermetically compressor over other kind of compressors. Finally, you have seen the difference between open type compressor and sealed unit compressor. So this is the end of our course today. This is the end of our course. Let's now finish by here, and we will continue next time looking at other topics. So remember, this is Dr. Vito 50. Please hit subscribe for more videos, so as we can, in order to grow our channel too, and to reach to a large number of people who are faced of having knowledge of the refrigeration system. So thank you for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. May God bless you.